Hey everybody, it's Angela and I am back with another process video, and I'm going to use some packaging on this one and also this Bella Rouge pink paisley paper pad that I got at Tuesday morning the other day. And the packaging I'm going to use is that cottage cheese lid and those other two lids which came off of some hot chocolate, and these Sizzix dies. And the one great thing about the big Sizzix dies is that they can cut more than just paper. They can cut through plastic, larger chipboard, thin metal, and stuff like that. So I'm just going to take the lids, the plastic lids, and cut them up and put them over some flowers and stuff that I want to cut out. And in order to keep them in place right over the die cut, I'm just going to use a little bit of washi tape to hold the pieces of plastic on there. So as you saw there, I had a few Sizzix dies and a few of the Tim Holtz Alterations dies. And I'm just going to cut out some flowers, and then on that one Sizzix die it has like a little heart-shaped tag that I want to cut out. So I cut the rim off of the hot chocolate lid and then just cut the black pieces up and place them over the flowers, and I'm just going to do that smallest flower on the Tim Holtz die just to give me a variety of flower shapes. So I go ahead and tape that on, and then this one I'm going to use, this is an older Sizzix die, and I want to do that little heart-shaped tag. And so this is a really inexpensive way to make your own embellishments. If you were to buy a pack of these plastic flowers and stuff, you'd probably be paying $2.99 or so for this, but this was just packaging that was going to go in the recycle bin. So now that I've cut them, I'm just taking the washi tape off and pulling them out, and I do that on both the black lids and the gold colored cottage cheese lid. So now I'm looking at the pink paisley papers and pulling out my favorite ones, and I'm going to do this little picture of my granddaughter, and there's not a lot of colors in this picture, just the flesh tones and a little bit of black. So I thought this would be the perfect picture to use these black and gold lids with, and the Bella Rouge collection, because it's just a beautiful paper collection. And the background paper that I'm using is a Scraptastic exclusive. It was in my Scraptastic kit. Not sure if it was from this month or last month, but it was the Elastic Heart kit. And that's the that kind of white and gray heart shaped paper in the background. So I'm just cutting out some mats and a few different shapes out of this pink paisley paper. And I like that the one gray mat with the hearts on it matches into the background paper, and then that floral one starts giving me a floral print, and it also has the black and the goldish yellow color in it, so that brings in both colors out of my lids. So now I'm just going to go ahead and layer these up and just, kind of picking something that I like the look of, not set on any kind of pattern or anything. So I go ahead and put that floral poking out of the top and bottom, and then I'm going to put a pop of this darker pink that I used for the photo mat just on each edge. So I just kind of split it there to make it go a little further. And so that's pretty much all I'm going to do as far as layering wise. So I go ahead and I take the manufacturer's strip off of this paper, and then I go and I cut it down a 1/2 inch on two sides, because I figure I want to mat this onto some colored cardstock later and have a border. So I just went ahead and cut it down now so I'd know what real estate I had to work with. And so this is the rest of my Scraptastic Elastic Heart kit, and I'm just kind of going through it. I've been out of town here for several weekends and stuff now, and so I haven't got to really break into this kit, so I'm just opening everything up and thought I'd get started with it. So they have these acrylic words. There's moments, fabulous, and remember. And although I love the remember sentiment, it was just a little bit too soft of a color on there. And I like the way the word moments kind of popped and picked up more of the black. So that's the one that I go ahead and use. And as you can see, I'm just kind of fussing around. I have no idea what I'm going to do. So I'm just kind of moving this stuff around until I find something that I like. You could see there's the little heart-shaped tag. I cut it out in both the gold and the black because I wasn't sure which one I was going to use. And then there's the rest of my flowers. And then I have the interiors of those heart tags. So I have a little black heart and a gold heart that I can use as well. I have a few flare from the Scraptastic kit. And then they had these two tags, but they were a little bit too bright. And then they had some black and gold Maggie Holmes stickers, so I thought I would go ahead and use some of those to bring more black into the layout and to ground where I'm going to do my embellishment clusters. So I go ahead and just commit putting the photo down. And then I liked that flare because it had the same hearts as the background paper. You know, they were, meant to match. So I wanted to go ahead and use it on this. So first I put down that little flag under the word moments, and later I changed that out because it just was leaving a little bit of trapped space in there. So now I'm kind of figuring out, okay, how am I going to place these flowers? And so I have one cluster going on the upper right, and then I want something down there on the left. And here's where I go ahead and change out the banner strip, and I go with that one, which makes a nice longer shelf for the word moments to sit on, and it gets rid of any kind of trapped space. So I'm looking to see if I want to use the gold heart tag or the black heart tag, and I kind of like the black one kind of dangling from the end of the banner, and then that kind of gets me going on a more diagonal embellishment cluster. So I decide to go with that, and so I use a little bit of foam tape just to hold down that little flare button, and I'm going to use glossy accents to hold down all the lid plastic flowers there. And like I said, it works really well. Those bigger thick die cuts, I haven't been using them as much lately, but this is what they're meant to do: cut out stronger, tougher material that you can't normally cut out with your thin dies. So this just worked so well, and I always love reusing packaging in different ways and incorporating it into my layouts. So there, as you can see, I'm just using some glossy accents. Some of the flowers I'm stacking on top of each other, some I'm leaving by themselves. And then I just go ahead and put some around the edge of that heart and underneath the word moments. And then some of those flowers have a little hole in the center. You can use a brad to hold it down, or I think that die is meant to actually build a hole like a hydrangea flower, and these are just like the individual petals of the hydrangea, but I'm just using them kind of standalone. So you could put brads in the center of those. I just go ahead and use the enamel dots that come in the Scraptastic kit to use as flower centers. So here I'm taking my Heidi Swap gold ink and just doing a few little splatters. So I've covered up my photo. Just putting a little bit of gold around there. And then let's see, what do I do next? Oh, then I go to choose if I'm going to use this light pink or this black for my border. And I did like the black, but in the end, I just liked the softness of the pink. So that's what I'm going to use as my background. But my mist splatters aren't dry yet, so I didn't want to adhere it down quite yet. So I grabbed the enamel dots that come in the Scraptastic kit, and there's 3 different sizes of them. So I'm trying to kind of cluster each of the 3 different sizes together and spread those out. And that just works perfect. It brings that little touch of pink to the center of each of those flowers. And then there's a little hole where you're supposed to put a brad to hold that heart tag on there. And I just put a little enamel dot down in that hole. And then I grab the heart from the gold tag that I cut out, and I'm just going to use that as the center. And then I can use the gold tag with the black heart on a different layout. So I have a few extra leftovers from my die cutting there. So I just dried up the sprinkles and mounted the layout onto this pink paper, and then that is my whole layout. And so here are a few close-ups. You can see the enamel dots and the gold and black flowers, the flare, the Maggie Holmes labels. I used a white gel pen to write on the banner and the sprinkles and stuff. And so that is my layout, and it went together really quickly. I was so glad to be able to use some more packaging on a layout. And so if you have any questions or anything, just leave me a comment below. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.